So the bone is broken, and that's holding the bone in place. So if you take that off, it's going to fall apart like the jelly.
No, but it hurts a lot. And yeah, the doctor asked me to keep this for like 3 weeks. So I don't know. This is like my first ever like.
This was a dream? Like you fulfilled a dream. I broke a bone.
Yes, like all my childhood, everybody around me was like breaking their bones, they were breaking their legs, their hands. And I am a chubby child, okay? So I have protection, like my skin, my fat is my protection. I never broke a bone. So it has always been my dream, and I finally did it.
I have the same dream. I have yet to break a bone. No hospitals and never broke a bone. It's probably because, as N Shady would say, I just don't do anything. Introverts to just. If I break a bone, it's going to be during sex.
At the beginning of my comedy career, I used to go on dating apps and I used to invite my dates on shows. So dating apps used to be like my ticket selling website. I don't know. But now my live shows are like my dating apps now.
But how does that work? So someone in the audience, they say, "Oh, you're funny. Let me date you."
This is how I met my current boyfriend. He was in the audience and I did this audience interaction. And we started talking. He followed me on Instagram. We started talking and we started dating. So this is how I met my current boyfriend.
He saw you. You said something to him at the show, and that was it. Instant. That's a movie. I would see that movie. A romantic comedy. And then he told me, what was the question that you asked in the audience?
Oh, actually, he looked like me. So I just said, "Hey, you are like my twin. There's a twin in the audience." And then he said, "Oh, but I'm ugly." And I was like, "Bro, I just call you my twin. You're calling yourself ugly and me ugly. At the same time." So yeah,
you said, "I have to marry that person."
I mean, I didn't, but he did. He was like, "Oh, I need to marry my twin." It's like self-love in next level. I just want to marry the guy because we are so similar. We are literally like twins. I don't know. Is it weird? But it's like, okay, here's the thing.
No. I've always had the fantasy of having sex with myself. Someday.
I know, right?
What advice can you give to someone who did a boo-boo?
Guilty.
After about 24 hours of deliberation, a jury found Nancy Crampton Brophy guilty of killing her husband, Daniel. The murder happened nearly 4 years ago in June of 2018.
When she was arrested, it was a great surprise to us until we found out that she hasn't been truthful with us either, so.
Prosecutors say the motive was money, insurance money Nancy would receive upon her husband's death. During the trial, Nancy told jurors she did not kill her husband. The verdict comes almost 4 years to the day of Daniel Brophy's death. Karen Brophy says she learned just how much her son was loved during this trial.
Through the trial, Portland has learned that our son was a great guy.
Nancy Crampton Brophy is set to be sentenced on June 13th at 9 a.m.
At this point, she should have just named it, "I murdered my husband," I don't know.
I would have changed the title of the book to How to Not Murder Your Husband If It's Me. I would never murder my husband, in small print.
I mean, that's called dedication of being a writer, that's being authentic for real. And it surprised me when, when the video said the murder and she accused and she completely denied it. That would mean that she was on weed. That would mean she's that's when the whole thing. So I really feel that she was high when she did the murder. When she gained consciousness, she was like, "Listen, I gotta write a book." Before you close your eyes, this is gonna go on a book though. Just saying. So it's kind of cool. That's
This is like the epitome of white privilege. She really tried to get away with as much as possible and say, okay, I'm going to write the book, do it, and then see if you assholes will actually put me in jail.
Like the evidence is everywhere. But you know what? I as someone who's writing a book like Serene, I'm writing a collection
Yeah.
of stories. The thing is, the publishing company tells you, if you write a book on a topic, you will become an influencer.
Not everything that you write is for like mass consumption. And I think what she meant to write to get it off of her, her heart was like a journal entry. That's what that should have been. And there's such a thing as metaphors. Like, why can't we write a children's book about a bear killing a deer? And she could get it out that way. You know what I mean? I just thought, like good storytelling is not about the facts. It's about the truth. I think you can get that story out and get it out of your head and get it off your, that guilt feeling by writing the book in a way that only you have admitted to all this. You know what I'm saying? That's what comes to mind.
right.
That would have been a great
Yeah.
children's book.
If Cancel Cop was here, he would say, "This is so unfair. This is so much unfair. O.J. Simpson once did this. He wrote a book. He murdered his wife, and people cheered him on. But now you blame this woman you convict her of murder. You sexist, you misogynistic society." That's what he would have said.
It doesn't fit. You can't acquit. If the glove doesn't fit.
Very true, man. Very true.
He wrote the book in the third person. That
Yeah.
if I would have killed my wife, I would have done it like this. He got away. And there
Right.
was a question mark, very small question mark on that, like the cover of the book.
If I did
It
it.
was, yeah.
It's my favorite book.
I need the book, just in case.
I think that if you're going to murder someone, it should be a last result, because
Yeah.
you can always just say, I don't think this is working and I don't want to end up killing you. So
Right.
that's the best way.
That's the best way, actually. Maybe say that and then kill them. So
Or just say that I'm really good at killing people.
yeah.
Just saying that.
If you've seen the movie, the PLO or something to do, it was an agent who's sent by the Israel to find out this who killed the athletes in 1972, the Olympic Games, German, they went, and this guy was responsible for killing all of these people. After he killed all the people, he came back. He has a mental issue. He couldn't live with himself. Like every time, because one of the incident was he placed a bomb into someone's bed, and then the victim came in and slept on the bed and bombed. Now he himself having trouble of sleeping because he scared someone might place a bomb underneath him. That's how it felt. He became mental. That's why, like, I don't know why someone would kill someone. It's not gonna work for you mentally.
You're gonna feel bad about it eventually.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of like murder documentaries, serial killer documentaries. And I don't like my killers giving out spoilers, on the documentary.
Many people always tell me, Tori, it's not good to date two people at the same time. And I always say, do you want to get one Chanel or two Chanel for your birthday?
Welcome back to Nima Speaks, a place where I empower women throughout the diaspora. I'm a big believer of women need to serial date. Attachment breeds desperation. If you're only dating a few people, you're gonna be desperate, you're gonna be attached. When people hear serial dating, they think a woman who is going around sleeping with every single guy she sees on the street, every single guy she talks to, she sleep with. And this is where a lot of you ladies out there, you're being very judgmental, coming for Lori Harvey. You're saying, Lori Harvey, ew, she's sleeping with Didi, with this and that person and that person. And actually, the idea of serial dating is not you sleeping with people. So the first misconception that most people have with serial dating is that they believe if you serial date, you're sleeping with every single person on the planet. Now, a lot of you guys, these time and age, you have misconception of what dating is. When you're dating people, you're supposed to fill out that are they compatible enough for us to have a future. For me personally, I date to marry. I do not date to hit and quit. For the people who date to marry, it doesn't mean that you're an evil person. It doesn't mean that you're just going out there, you're a bad boy, breaking people's hearts. So the second misconception about serial dating is that you don't have any emotional connection with people and you're just out here breaking people's feelings, okay? If I have to fill government papers and I have to check the single box, that means legally, babes, I am single until married. We as women, we have this bad habit of quickly attaching ourselves to guys, where we get so emotionally invested into one guy that we become seriously obsessed. We become obsessed psychopath. If you're a single woman, you should have the ability to look for the best man for the job. That's what I believe. The best man for the job, point blank, period. It's on every woman's best interest to go out there and serial date. Don't believe the hype. Don't listen to people who say if you're serial dating, you're emotionally cheating, you're doing all of these things.
Dating one person and you both expecting everything from each other might be a big responsibility on both of you, and there might be some problems. But at the same time, if you want to, if you are fighting with your man, if you had a fight with your man, you just talk to your best friend. You don't find another date and then be like, okay, I mean, the way she said, you don't have sex with every person you date, you don't do this with every person you date. But then, I have friends.
I would forget people's names. If I'm dating more than one person at a time, first I would have to tell everybody, by the way, I'm dating 5 people right now, so you better be very good and keep my attention because you're competing. So I would have to be honest with everyone because I'm also purposely dating. That's a new trend. Purposely dating so that I can just have sex with one person for 10 years. That is my purpose.
So right after my divorce, I went through what I call my hoe phase. And I dated everybody. I didn't care. I was like, yes, I was that serial dater. And I actually had an Excel spreadsheet of all of the people I would date, the humans. And I kept a list and a filter. I actually color coded everything. So if I was on a date with somebody and I was out with blue and I would know all of their interests and stuff. See, this is how I kept track. This is my autistic brain going, yes.
I love it.
So I love serial dating, but I think you need to be honest and upfront.
Yes.
Every time I was on a date, I would say, look, I am dating to look for a partner, but I am dating people. We are not in a committed relationship.
I absolutely agree with Audra. I think once one starts to mature a little bit, you realize that there's another person involved in all the serial dating. And after a while, your bad karma kind of builds up. I'm not going to get into this, but there was one Valentine's Day that I had 3 Valentine's dates, and I was bloody exhausted at the end of it. The third one they got nothing from me. But on the other side of why I agree with that video, and this is a thing that I've been formulating recently, I think that when we date over the course of our lives, we are seeking a particular type of energy from a person that is compatible with us. That being said, I think in a lot of ways, when we have a best friend, when we have a maternal figure, father figure, or a lover, or a really like someone who's freaky in bed, we're almost dating or in contact with the same person in a strange way over the course of our lives, because we're always finding that one person in the room who's going to reflect the person who was the last person who fit that role in your life. And I'm also going to say one thing real quick. As artists, which is this room right here, you know, all of us are on the spectrum on some level. Everyone has always said from the outside, Jade, when you date, it looks like it's like a project to you. And like once, Henry, to your point, I said, you know what? I'm going on 20 dates on Tinder, and I'm going to just make a whole spreadsheet like Audra, and I'm going to like write the whole, like everything good and bad that happens. And I think that this group of people in this room right now, I think we naturally do that, and we need to acknowledge that we're that kind of person to create art, to tell a story, because that's who we are in life.
I've never dated. I have struggles with keeping the women. Forget about jumping to multiples. I have struggles just sticking to one. That we are just focused on just one. If one goes, then you go with many. If one doesn't even stay, forget about welcoming new faces. But and it's true, given the society we live, if you date more than a man, people are like, you're hoeing around, or people don't want you because you have too many, right? Or people don't love you enough because what's wrong with you? Why do you have 10 guys again and still single, you know? In my case, just get one. I'm just praying for just one. I don't care for 15. I will color code the one into multiple shades if I have to. Yeah, just stick. That's my take. That's it.
So when she says serial dating, it's nothing to do with sex. It's like saying serial killer has nothing to do with killing, you know? Like, like come on, man. Like that's,
man, yeah.
That part I disagree a little bit, but because sex is part of knowing, you know someone through that as well. Like it's a part of communication, part of a connection as well, you know. So yeah. But yeah, we should be dating a couple of multiple partners, because we do learn. Let's say example, I'm dating Uncle now. Uncle will be learning from me, and I'll be learning from Uncle until there's a cutoff point. That's why a relationship falls apart after a couple of years, is because we graduate from each other and we stop learning. So now we find a new partner, we learn from them again. You know, that's where learning, that's what life is all about. But people just forget we're going to stuck in one partner for the rest of my life. There's only one person you're going to learn. Man, your world is boring, man. To me, I see it like that, you know.
I just wonder if the person who is talking about this serial dating is responding to having her heart broken by someone who she had given 100% of her life and heart to.
Bingo.
So like you go to the extreme, just like serial killers, like one person made me mad, I'm going to kill the entire human race. And like serial dating, it's like, you know, all the financial experts always say, don't put all your money in one bank, have stocks, you put another bank, buy properties, so that if your home or business relationship falls apart, guess what? You're not going to fall apart.
True.
You know, and so when I see this, I kind of go, oh, I see what you're doing, I think, because if number 9 drops you, you're like, oh, I'm fine. The train can still run on the track, you know.
It's more like multiple investments. Just
yes. Yes. The financial community is snapping right now.
The video starts by saying, why have one Chanel on your birthday when you can have 2? Like, is it even about dating? Is it about the Chanel, or like, what's the point? I just feel that she should get a guy who can afford to give her 2 or 5 Chanels on her birthday, and just
Maybe Chanel is her love language. That's it. That's
our marriage law is kind of very, very outdated. You can only married to one or something like that. It's like it's a contract, but it's renewable. That's what I agree. You can renew the contract. Yeah.
Let's say you existed in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and you married a person, they get dusted. So over the 5 years of time, you marry another person, and then that person comes back to life. So what's the situation over here? Now you have two husbands. Do you want to practice with two husbands? How weird would it be in the Marvel universe?
If you took a prenup, then you're good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tech support said that if you could, think of yourself in a Marvel character, I am Loki. I'm literally dating myself. Literally dating myself.
That would be fun. I think I would be in a relationship with me because you can't get any more perfect.
Yeah.
How to build emotional connection with someone. You've met someone who you like a lot. You love spending time with them and would want to develop a more serious relationship with them. To do so, you'll need to establish an emotional connection with them. However, it may be confusing, and you may wonder how to emotionally connect with someone. One of the most powerful, gratifying, and enjoyable skills you can acquire is how to connect emotionally with others. Be honest about who you are. Do you want to discover how to make a real connection with someone? The solution is straightforward. Honesty attracts genuine people. Allow them to share who they authentically are too. You will feel more at ease with each other as your emotional connection develops, which is a wonderful thing. Tell them they can be totally honest with you about their concerns, dreams, and hopes. You will still adore them even if they are vulnerable in front of you. Express your love in a variety of ways. Be there for them through health challenges. Going through a healthcare together can strengthen your emotional bond more than anything else. Take advantage of the time you have together. We are all emotional beings, and spending quality time with a partner helps to strengthen and deepen your emotional bond. It will be difficult to form an emotional connection if you get into habits such as binge watching the newest Netflix series on weekends, drinking excessively, or just sleeping the day away. This is because you aren't doing anything worthwhile. While watching television or playing video games from time to time is okay, but don't make it a habit. You'll lose out on developing a strong emotional connection with a lady, as well as some of the most beautiful moments you and your girlfriend may have.
One, that video screams like cis, hetero, white male did this. But I get the point and the purpose behind the video, I guess, the intent. I'm trying to find it. And so I get it. I do think being your authentic self, maybe it's because I'm older. I guess I'm with Henry. I really don't care. I guess my F's went out a long time ago. And if I don't like you, I guess I'm just very honest and upfront. I used to be very scared. I was very shy. And now I'm just like, I don't care. If you don't like me, I may not like you. We go our separate ways. There are 1,000 others like you waiting at my doorstep. Goodbye.
My last relationship, when I was with this one girl who was not with me, but decided to be with my friend, knowing that I like her, and I was the update guy. The update guy is somebody who is gonna, you know everything about the person, he likes you, you know it all, but you are an update guy. So which means you update me on when you're blowing him, you update me when you're fucking him, you update me whether you love him, when you know everything what I want from you, but it is delivered somebody somewhere else. That's demonic. That's heavy demonic.
Even I have update guys. Like I update everything to my exes. I'm bragging about my new awesome boyfriend to my exes. So
You're not in the
Yeah, I
receiving.
have a lot of updates.
You are not an uncle. You're not in the receiving end. I'm in the receiving end. All right. That's more painful. Initiating end is the fuck all shit.
Towards the end of the video says that don't spend too much time playing, playing video games, and this might like take you away from the opportunity of connecting with your love interest. And I was like, dude, this can only happen in a first world country.
That's true.
He says, be yourself. You know, like Jade and I can say this. You know, we can say this. We really be ourselves, right? Yeah, I remember. You know, my ex-girlfriend. You know, she came into my room and then she saw 5 of my panties as I was hanging outside. You know, and she saw. It's like, who is the other girl you're sleeping with? I said, no, that was me. I'm sleeping with myself. You know. You know, she didn't believe it. You know, it was mine. You know, it's because I didn't be myself. I was hiding from her. I was like, I didn't tell her I was wearing panties and all stuff. You know, yeah, it creates a very huge conflict, unnecessary conflict. Is because I didn't start being myself. Well, what I would say, because I do a lot of meditation now. You know, so I'm quite detached from my emotion. You know, because this body, it's currently what you are, like you are understanding what your emotions are. You know, you're just borrowing this body from earth. Soon you're going to leave it, right? So you need to understand what it's doing to you. Like emotionally, it's just a reaction of you. Yeah, like you know, so why are you attaching yourself to all these things and create so much suffering on yourself? You know, so master your own fear of loneliness, and then
when I'm making a connection, don't play hard to get. That's one of my that's gonna ruin everything. And second thing is it's okay if I am if I am being weird because I'm trying to make a connection. So it's okay, whatever I'm saying, just perceive it. Don't judge, just take it all in. So, and third main important, please try to relax. That's for yourself. That's it.
We should try to do what the Greeks taught us, to
Right.
know thyself. Because I think the way the relationships are portrayed are not right for everybody. Right? I mean, it's maybe you're not meant to have a relationship in that way. And also as artists, we can create these beautiful imaginative relationships in our head because we're so creative. And then we can jump into that cloud of creativity thinking it's real. And then that's when we get disappointed.
And we do it again.
Know thyself.
Yeah, and again and again and again.
Go to YouTube, you can find certain personality like alpha, beta, sigma, omega. You know, like you find out which personality you are. Like I found out that I'm sigma. Like sigma, I'm not fear of being lonely. I love being lonely. You know, like I can go to the cinema alone. I can sleep alone. I can do things alone. You know, so like once I hate to this state. You know, like. That's when the girls show up, you know, like, whoa, wow. Like I'm going to enjoy my wine alone, and this girl just come along and tag in, you know, like, oh wow, thanks, you know, be my company then. You know, it happens just naturally, and then you don't really have to work for it. That's what leads to the next topic, law of attraction.